Coming off of round 100 last week, we had said at the end of the episode, you know what, we're 15 minutes late, it's all good, we like to be fashionably late. No, round 101 of the losers bracket, and we end up having such technical difficulties that we are an hour behind. I sincerely apologize to anyone that is still here listening live to this. For those that are tuning in after the fact, hey, welcome to the party, you're just on time. We have so much to talk about. This could not have happened at a worse time. Yet again, apologies on the late start, the delay. I'm joined tonight by Jerry, by Curt from Check 6, just like normal. But we got a couple extra faces with us here tonight. Dakota Lasky, you know him as VV Rapture, used to be a co-host of the show way back in the day. He's been on as a guest a couple times, Directional Influence, yada, yada, yada. And then, of course, we also have the guys over from Hypefestation, CaptnBarbosa, Jason Barbosa, who is being so nice as to stream this for us right now without the overlays and things like that we are used to. But, hey, we're here. And on top of that, we also have CDNThe3rd, C-Squeeze, joining us tonight. So we got a packed house. Might not look as good as normal, you know. A little bit muddy here because my internet is apparently crap tonight. But we are here. And, wow, I feel like I'm about to give a Jason rant over here. Let's see how everyone else is doing tonight, though. Curt, how are things going, buddy?
Other than this hour we've been sitting here troubleshooting, I have had a fantastic week. It's been very, very busy bringing our boy Sleep over, so we'll have a Korean over by the end of the U.S., by the end of the week, into the U.S., so I'm excited for that, and excited to talk about all the good stuff this week.
I'm excited to set something on fire right about now, but Jerry, how are you doing, sir?
You don't want to talk to me, anyone, ever. I hate being late, so I think outside of setting my own house on fire and being furious because, you know, I only have one standard, and when we fail that standard, I hurt things. So, but my neighborhood will recover. Chicago's a good city, so we'll be okay.
Indeed. Well, before we bring in the guests, and Jason, thank you so much, my buddy, for doing the stream for us this week since I'm about to destroy the people that have created XSplit. Let's talk about some big news that's going on this week, man. We're going to be talking Gears in just a little bit. We got Hypefestation and all that beautiful things, those beautiful things there. Gears not on MLG winter season. That's quite a topic in and of itself. We'll be discussing that. Halo announced today. That's ridiculous. I don't think that we were expecting that after the rant last week, but maybe that's what sent them over the edge, Jerry. And on top of that, MK as well. So much to discuss. Where do you guys want to start? Anybody?
Well, let's get started with, since we're late, everybody knows Halo's back on the pro circuit. I don't think there's much to be said about that. Mortal Kombat 9's on the pro circuit. So we were going to talk a little bit about Halo. I had a little special, taking the fat girl to prom. I don't think that was Major League Gaming's first choice. But at the end of the fucking day, the developers didn't want to play. And that's something I'll rant about later. I don't think there's a person that doesn't believe Call of Duty would have been in many ways the best option. But there are just too many problems with that game on land to make it work. So right now, Mortal Kombat, 99.9% some fighter, Halo, StarCraft, that's what we know. So that's the Major League Gaming Pro Circuit. And with all that being said, watching Twitter over the past couple of days, I found it pretty interesting because every community has something to say about other communities, except StarCraft, because this is all beneath them. So I think this is a good jump off to talk about and get right into Gears of War, because let's face facts. A lot of players were optimistic. Sundance came on the show. He said, hey, Gears of War is looking good, but then didn't quite work out the way they'd wanted. In short, who do you blame for that? Well, I mean, I think it's obvious. We know the model now. It's pretty transparent. So the question at the end of the day is, what do they need from Epic that Epic wasn't able to deliver before the announcement for the Pro Circuit event in Columbus? That's the question. Without speculating on that, let's talk about what has gone on in Gears of War, which is the Hypefestation, which thankfully Jason and Caesar have made time to come talk to us about it. And then from there, we will go into a little bit about consoles in general. But I think this is a really good place to start. So Jason, Caesar, as Paradise just said, welcome to the show. Congratulations on Hypefestation. You guys crossed 10,000. And I think that's good, but not on the Pro Circuit. I'm going to start with you, Caesar. Disappointed? Not surprised? What do you think of that news?
I have to admit that I was a little disappointed. I think we were all kind of looking forward to it. But at the end of the day, like how I go about my everyday life, I don't dwell. And, I try to avoid just, being a negative Nancy as much as possible. And I kind of just play the cards I'm dealt, And, unfortunately, it's not picked up for the winner.
Did he just drop out?
I think so.
We've been banging out some hypes. We can't do 200. We can't do 200 team events as of yet. Oh, fuck me. Motherfucker! I hear you guys.
No, you're all right. I think you were lagging.
Hello?
You're good. You're good.
Right,
Relax.
Okay. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, so anyway, where'd I cut off? All right, the first thing, okay, let's start all right, everyone needs to start thinking positive right now. That's number one. Now we're going to go to number 6. Number 6, back to what I was saying. Now, I lost my whole train of thought, but going back to Hypefestation, I feel like at least we still have something to look forward to and something to, give us all a reason to play the game. And I'm excited, I mean, we'll see what happens in, I don't know, what's the next season? The spring, winter, spring, right? Spring's the next MLG season?
Yep.
So, if God's willing, we'll have multiple events and we can, go hammer with this whole Gears of War thing.
You sound like a New York Italian grandmother. God willing, we'll have this show.
What?
That's where your calmness comes from.
Oh, okay.
Like an old woman.
I guess you're right. I was raised by women. You know what I'm saying?
That'll do it. That'll do it every time. But here's the thing. Now, I want to get you back on train of thought before anybody else jumps in. You were saying you were a little disappointed by the news and that, I think everybody had a different anticipation. But now we are going to speculate a little bit. Why do you think it didn't get picked up, in your opinion?
I guess, I really don't have, I really can't, I wouldn't say it's an educated opinion. I really didn't, put so much thought into why. I guess I can only assume that maybe the money wasn't there, or, you know what I mean? Or, I don't really know, I don't really have enough time to really think about why it wasn't picked up.
So, Jason, I'm going to turn it back to you real quick, Barbosa, and I want to hear from you. In a way, what you're doing, obviously it being on the Pro Circuit is good, but at the same time, Hypefestation is not affected by MLG's decision. How did you take the news, and am I right? You are sort of unaffected. The show goes on. It's no big deal. How do you see that news?
I knew that the community needed to grow going into this because I know it fell off with Gears 2. The game just wasn't what the competitors wanted. And Gears 3, everybody was amped up for it. The streams were going on the beta, and then the launch happened, and everything was fantastic. I think it's already gamers have ADD. It came out before Call of Duty and Battlefield, and then that interest kind of squashed Gears of War for a little bit, and then people just have to kind of put the disc back in and realize that Epic has been working on the game and releasing great maps and stuff to play. I am a little disappointed too with the numbers because we had double the size of the event, yet not really double the size of the viewership and such.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the question is, competitive Gears dead?
I don't think it's dead. It's not dead. It's actually just growing because we had Hypefestation 1 a month after Gears. That was like the fever. It's out. What are we doing with it? Let's go. And then we had the next hype in January after a whole bunch of blockbuster releases and the Christmas season and all that. So I think it just needs to come back. People need to realize that it's a tactical game. It's not an easy game. If you put some time into it, and if the community teaches people how to play and spectate and enjoy the game, it can be something. It's just you have all these elitists that are like, I'm not talking to you. What are you? You know, they just crap on kids and then they leave it at that. They have to thank those kids for, first of all, their interest in the game, and then teach them how to be better. I think that's where Gears is right now.
Caesar,
I don't think Gears is, no, definitely not. Competitive Gears isn't dead. Like, I don't even think it's close to being dead. I mean, we got a lot of hungry people out there that, you know, that want a place that they can compete at. You know, I mean, you know, this day and age, I mean, everybody wants to compete. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, whether it's paintball, whether it's video games, whether it's freaking, you know, like flag football. I mean, and there's people really passionate about Gears. And I don't think anyone wants to just surrender all the time they put into that. And like the amount of fun you have at events, you know, it's like it's unmatched. So I think there's a lot of energy still in the community, and you know, little by little, you know, we take it one day at a time, one event at a time, and you know, just bring this bad boy to the top.
Word. Hey, now, Barbosa, I got a question for you myself, man. Jerry had thrown around an idea recently about like putting guides together for people to spectate and things like that could help people enjoy games better. Would that be something that could help Gears of War, something to enjoy how to watch the game? Do you think that that's something that would help the competitive side at all?
That's extremely important, helping the competitive side. You're not teaching people how to spectate. What you need to do is just teach people how to play the game. I'm going to go back to League of Legends because I know you guys have talked about League of Legends a whole bunch of times. That business model and that game is perfect for competitive gaming because it's free. A whole audience can come in and watch. There's a learning curve, and you're always learning something in that game. Every time you play, you learn something. You get your butt kicked, you learn something. And by doing that and then like having to reach level 30 and just you're learning the whole time, people are taught. And if they want to be good at the game, they're spending an hour in front of their computer every time they game. They go online and they see tutorials. Gears really doesn't have that. I know Arctic is great at putting up how to Lancer and all that great stuff, but there's not enough community involvement. You know, if you just taught people how to play the game, this is how you use the Lancer, this is how you break a hill, this is how you approach, this is how you go wide. If there was videos and education like that, just by teaching people how to play the game, they'd be interested if they could see what was happening. It has nothing to do with this is how you spectate, this is how you play the game, and this is how they're playing amazing.
You know, every time I hear about community involvement, I swear I've heard that somewhere before. I'm just not sure where. And I think the thing that really cracks me up about all this is that, you know, what you are saying underneath all of that always comes back to the developer. Right. Mm-hmm. So Riot's product versus Epic's product, right? And the fact is that Gears players fall in love with the wrong woman, you know? That's really the truth. And, you know, you got to vote with your pocketbook. Like, this show, I'm going to tell you guys, I've had it up to here with developers. I mean, I could rant. I could probably steal the whole show, and Curt would never forgive me for doing all the talking. But I really think... You know, I've been looking at Twitter, right? Call of Duty pros, like Mindstrucks, like yelling at Sundance. Like, you know, you got to ignore idiots. I mean, plain and simple. And there are days like today that a lot is going on, that eSports is really moving quickly. And a lot of people want to see their games being played, but a lot of people don't get the business of eSports.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you guys a question, just honest truth. I'm going to start with you on this one, Caesar, because before you ran Hypefestation, you went to events. Now that you ran an event and run 2 events, been a part of it, I want you to tell me what you've learned about running events.
Well, the first thing I've learned, it's definitely not easy, and that's a given right there. It's definitely not easy. It's a very hard thing to do. When you run an event, I mean, everybody, like just from questions like, yo, C's, where's the bathroom? To like, yo, C's, what about that coin flip right there, son? I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Every little question. And like, you know, and that's something that like, I went into, and I didn't think I was going to like be as stressed as I was at an event. Like Hype 1, oh my God. And I understand because everyone's like looking to me for answers and stuff like that. And I, for the most part, I have all the answers. But you're not going to make, you know, someone's going to be pissed. You know, you can't keep everyone happy. So that's the first thing you have to understand about running events. Like, not everyone there is going to love you. You know, people are going to hate you. They're going to love you. And some people are going to think you're being biased. But I guess that's just the nature of the beast. But besides that, I think another thing I've learned is that people don't really understand the amount of work that goes into an event. They kind of think that we just show up to a venue with Pokeballs and just throw them shits and like fucking, you know, and like TVs pop out and like things just connect and like, you know, like a lot of the issues we dealt with were technical difficulties, and not because like we had trouble hooking things up. It was like, you know, it was communication. It was like the maps trying to communicate with other Xboxes. Then you got dirty discs. Then you got, oh snap, there's not enough power in the venue to support all this ampage. You know what I mean? Just a lot of stuff. Like I feel like, but one thing I can say though is like going into like every event, I feel more confident. Like I have more confidence, and like I'm just ready to just like defecate on and just do better, you know, than any prior event. So it's definitely a learning experience, and I wouldn't take it back, and I have no regrets. So
well, that's
tech
good.
issues, we'd have no idea what those were.
Yeah,
what?
Right? Jason,
Oh,
what do you think? What are you throwing there, Jason?
Let's spin back the question. What's the question I'm answering again? Because Caesar was talking about a bunch of things.
Really, I want to focus on. All right, so Hypefestation is, and we've got NJ Halo. We've got a couple events out there, and Hypefestation. You guys are on the show. You're one of those events that you're new and you're learning, and I usually find this part of the experience to be a bit humbling for a lot of people. Like, wow, you know, then you compare like an MLG event and you realize the talent that it takes to do something at that level. I want you to talk a little bit about what you've learned and about, you know, being involved in an event at the level you are.
The first thing I noticed was we were way understaffed. You know, I thought we could just unload all the hardware that took kind of forever to scrounge up. Just unload it, connect, and go. And then a lot of the administrative responsibilities just weren't being dealt with during the event. And I mean, like, Miracle volunteers came out to help ref, and even people were running the stream. I'll shout them out later, but let's just get this over with. People were helping run the event, ref, stream, help demo the products that we had there. We had Astro and Gunner Optics, and it was definitely humbling. Like, wow, we needed a lot more people. We needed a lot more help, and then we needed a lot more interest for the scope of the event. And then people, the number one complaint I got was there was downtime. There was downtime. It was out of focus. I saw the logo. There was downtime. I'm like, that's because I had to get up and administrate other things, and I couldn't be on the stream machine. I couldn't set the talent up, and then talent, I'm referring to Gandhi and Charlie, they were getting aggravated because they didn't know what was happening with the show. Like, when's the next match? Why are they taking forever to warm up? Who's telling them to warm up? Where's the team? Like, there's so many issues to make it like a nice, easy flowing machine. And it was all, there were so many wrenches in the gears that every almost in between every match, I had to get up and like reset and contact and then sit back down on the stream. I just wish we had more help. A lot of people just think it was put out machines, put out monitors, and go. And it was nothing like that.
I mean, I have to agree because I've ran events for both Gears and Smash as well, and I definitely have to tell you, like, when you're sitting there trying to run a bracket and people come up to you, like, why are there tech issues going on and stuff like that, and what's going on, I'm like, oh, that's a headache. But one of the things I want to ask, though, is after doing that, do you feel like the community is more appreciative of what you guys do? Because they definitely don't know the kind of work you guys do, because I definitely have experience and I know it. But do you guys? I want to take that to Caesar. Do you guys feel like that the community appreciates what you guys are doing?
I definitely think people appreciate what we're doing, and I get the feedback, and people have their comments, but like you got to take it, as they come. Like, they're going to say their things like, oh, see, is what you could do to improve, or, Bosa, or, hey, Hype guys, listen, this will be better if you guys implement this the next Hype, and you kind of just have to take that, for the most part, it's constructive criticism, and we're going to do what we can to make every event better. But I don't want to really go too far off topic, but what Jason said about the experience, with as far as the downtime goes, like, it sucks that happened, but because that happened, we learned something from that, and like an idea was sparked, and now we know from now on we're gonna hook up 2 spectator boxes to 2 different stations. You get what I'm saying? So if you have one boring ass match that, let's say, DeFace and Gandhi are commentating, you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna go switch over here to the the BVV versus Less Than Zero match. You know what I'm saying? And they're just going hammer in like an intense ass match. And this way, like, you're always gonna have something to watch instead of having those 30-minute, 40-minute downtimes. And I don't think that would have ever, because I know people were like, yo, in between matches, you should do player interviews. In between matches, you should do this, you should do that. And, like, I think the best thing to do is just give people what they want. Like, what they want is gameplay, And we probably wouldn't have came up with that idea for this next installment of Hype if it wasn't for that. Wouldn't you agree, Jay?
Yeah, if things weren't going wrong, I would have had more things going on the stream, but I didn't have the time to set, little interviews and stuff up. And it just, there was a whole bunch of stuff we weren't prepared for that we were absolutely going to be prepared for next time.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning experience.
For those who don't know about Hypefestation, because someone just asked me to talk about it a little bit, give a quick rundown. Gears of War event, what's the questions I got were, what was the prize distribution for Hypefest 1 versus Hypefest 2, and is Hypefest 3 confirmed? So I know there are 3 questions in there. We'll start the first one. Let's talk about the prize distribution, Hypefest 1 versus Hypefest 2.
C's, do you have that notepad open?
No, well, basically, in short, okay, Hypefest 1 was 16 teams. 16 teams, and $200 a team passed. I think it came out to, what is that, $3,200, and we were able to raise the prize pool to, it was $5K the first event. And thanks to obviously Beyond Gaming and all of our sponsors, like, I don't want to miss anybody.
Twitch
so, like,
TV, Twitch TV, and
Twitch
Beyond
TV,
Gaming jumped
Beyond
on board and believed in us.
Yeah, and a couple of community members. Burger Fresh helped out too. He donated some of his own money to that event, and it really allowed us, to give more back to the community, like give back to the community, and show them that we appreciate for all them coming out, and like, hey guys, like, you're not only playing for the money you put in, you're getting some extra out of this. And going into Hype 2, we doubled up the teams, but that was only an increase of an additional, what was that, like another $3,200, so a total of $6,400 from the teams, and then we were able to raise the additional 56 with the help of the sponsors. And like, once again, Jay, I don't want to forget anybody, but it was Astro, Twitch, Beyond Gaming, Gunners, and Aver Media. And like, sponsors are everything, you know what I mean? Like, they help out so much, and and I think that's just one thing that people forget to realize. Like, hey guys, you realize, like, the players, like, all the players especially, like, don't bitch, don't complain, because like, our money is getting doubled. Like, we have an opportunity to make a killing right now. Granted you placed top 8 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So that's pretty much how the breakdown went down. And for Hype 1 was a top 4 payout, and Hype 2 was a top 8 payout. And we did 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And because we didn't do consolation, we did 5th and 6th, get the same amount, and then 7th and 8th get the same amount. So Infinity walked away with $4K for their team. They didn't walk, like that, like, so 1,000 each for each player. Second place was 700.
Yeah, each player walked away with 700.
Yeah, second place was 700 each player. Third place was 500 each player. Fourth place is 300 each player. And then it went down to 5th and 6th place teams got 150 a player, and 7th and 8th place teams got 100 a player. So, it's something.
That was like the stipend end of things. Like, thanks for playing and placing. You're not going to go home empty-handed, and here's some of your expenses. That was like a thank you for competing.
Yeah. And, I mean, if you compare that to, I mean, Jerry, you remember Gears 1 way back in the day. There was like 200 teams competing for like $4K prize pool MLGs. Remember that?
Dude, I can tell you this right here, that, as I think about the game itself, like a lot of people, myself included, you fall in love with Gears of War. It's a phenomenal game. And it's been a rough road, and there are things in the community that may be bad, but, if Gears of War 3 came around when Gears of War 2 came released, we would have a different history. Gears of War 2 was just bad. It was costly at the end, and now if you look at the Xbox Live numbers, Gears of War just isn't up there, and I think that's horrid. And I think the future of Gears of War competitively may be Hypefestation. I mean, that may be the only place that Gears of War lives competitively. Let's talk about that a little bit, because I think that's important. Would that be okay with you? Is that enough for Gears of War? How long can that last if all Gears has is Hypefestation? And that doesn't mean Hypefestation is bad. I want to make that clear. But it's not the MLG that many were hoping for. So I'm going to start with you, Caesar. Is that good?
Just, I'm sorry. Someone had asked me a question in the thing.
No problem.
I was trying to listen.
I was saying, do you think Hypefestation is the only place Gears of War is going to live competitively?
I don't think so. Like, what I'm hoping I hope people get invigorated. Like, a lot of the people are wondering, like, why Hypefestation is East Coast bound and stuff like that. Like, by all means, like, hope, like, look with me, Jason, Vicious, Burger Fresh and Beyond Gaming. Look what we're trying to do. Like, go ahead and you guys can do that too. We can have multiple events, like, throughout the country. You can visit your local LAN centers. You can, tell people to bring in Xboxes if they have to. And, like, we can have, like, some pretty decent events.
Can I jump in on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Please do.
I think we have to take the model of
get sponsors and get the viewership. And
he just lagged
He's
out.
lagging again.
He's lagging.
Yeah.
Who?
You are. I thought you were done talking. I started talking.
There's just lag everywhere tonight. Apparently
go ahead,
Twitch is lagging
Jay.
too.
Take over. Oh, my bad. I didn't even know.
You're
Go
good,
ahead,
bro.
I mean.
You're good. You're good.
I think we need to look towards the fighting game community as an example, because MLG hasn't been part of the fighting game community for its entire existence. It was easy to do. That's the thing. It was one screen for two people, and you can compete doing that, whereas you need 8 screens and 8 consoles for one match in shooters. But I think we can bond enough, we're connected by the internet enough to kind of gather up those resources, and that's kind of how Hypefestation 1 came into existence. And just leading by them, they were having a fighting tournament anywhere was possible, just a few screens, a few consoles, and get the word out. That's really what it was. And even if if you have your own local, go to a LAN center. I'm sure those guys are starving and they'd be happy to have people in their LAN centers. Go to it. If you can just get one station, that's good enough for 4 to 8 teams. Have a good time. Get somebody to stream it, And if you want to talk to us and we can get Hypefestation rules in there and some branding and help you guys out and consult you on how to run a local, we'll do that. It's a beautiful thing. On Beyond Gaming's channel, for the last 3 days, Vero Prodigy, Loco, and MLG Gandhi have been doing a European tournament from Gao.se. And Vero's also been talking to the ACL, the Australian Cyber League. And they're involved, and they're going to be using Hypefestation settings. So that feels good. Like, just take initiative. Just start budgeting. What's it going to cost to get 8 similar TVs and 8 Xboxes in one location? Just start figuring that out. It could happen. The community just has to be part of it.
I agree. And coming from a fighting game background, I have to say that one of the best things you can do is to get as many systems as possible and bring them together and just play, whether it's like friendlies for practice or a tournament for like 5, 10, whatever, how much money it is. But you grow a community so well if you meet people in person. I think one of the problems that Gears had for a while was that it's all online based. Before MLG, before Hype, anything like that, everyone talks online. People don't really get to know each other. They're not really close. But if you look at the fighting game community, everyone's close. They see each other every single weekend. Being a Smash player, I mean, I know the Smash community in the back of my hand because I'm so well in tune with these guys. I see them every week.
Yeah.
The Gears community could benefit from that, and Halo and Call of Duty, any online community, except like StarCraft, because that's the best. But if you guys are seeing each other every weekend, whether it's for a tournament, whether it's for friendly matches, for a practice, you don't even have to run a competition. You guys become so much more bonded, and you learn each other, and you learn how to get things like this going. So yeah, I agree. Do that. You don't have to be MLG. Like, I think everyone thinks that when they run an event, they have to have like thousands of dollars on the line. No, just start small. And if it gets big, good. We got to start somewhere. And I think if you guys work together that way, Gears is a really great game, and it's a team game too. So you have to have a lot of people there.
Yeah.
That you do exactly what Jason said there. And it's a great thing. I really believe in that.
Yeah, and I think most would agree. I'm going to offer kind of a weird question here, because I'm one, as I've mentioned quite before, I come from a different background than probably most here. Of course, CS.
Here we go.
And I'm not going to get into CS, but what I'm saying is I have a question based on, I'm a big guy for steady growth. I like to see slow, steady growth rather than up and down fluctuation where we will, sure, it's great you got on MLG for one season. Now you're dead. Oh, now you're back. Now you're dead. I'm one of those guys for slow, steady growth. Do you necessarily think that MLG is necessary, or even I would go as far as saying wanted in the Gears of War community right now? I mean, I'm sure it's wanted by the players, but what I mean by that is, do you think it's necessarily the best thing for it when you can do things like these local events to actually get to have a slow, steady growth? That way, when MLG's ready for it, if it is ready for it, it already has this big community that's not completely dependent upon MLG, a la Halo. Do you understand what I mean by that question?
Who do you want to answer that?
Either one of you. I don't care. Whoever wants to take it.
Let Caesar answer that first, because he's from the player perspective, and then I'll take it from a business perspective.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, like the way I look at it, the more the merrier. The more opportunity for us to get out there and express ourselves in a game that we love, and and be able to compete, the better. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, you look at this. You look at StarCraft. I mean, StarCraft doesn't only have MLG. It has GSL. It has MLG. It has the North American Star League. It has multiple events. And you look at the fighting game community. They have their multiple. I think it's great. I think it's just fantastic for esports, and it gives everyone an opportunity. Not everyone can make it to a Hypefestation. Not everybody can make it to an MLG. So, the more the merrier. So, I accept, anyone and everything, trying to set up a platform for Gears of War and give us a place that we could play. So, yes, I accept it. 100%.
Looking forward, I want to know about Hypefestation 3. Is there going to be one? What can you tell us about a Hypefestation 3?
Well, Hypefestation 3 will be completely a board game tournament where we have just me.
This whole thing right here.
It will be in Hawaii.
Houston Ladder's top 4 right here.
As possible for people to get there. Okay. So we're moving on to that question, huh, Jerry? Just moving right on.
Look, I want to know because look, we can sit here and tell the Gears of War community everything they've already heard, and when it comes to their game and things like that, I really believe it's out of their hands. They could all act really nice, and they could go meet each other every weekend and do all this stuff, but I just don't know how you're going to get Epic to and this is a separate problem that Call of Duty has. I'll talk about that later on the show, but for Gears, is Epic really going to play at the end of the day? Is there?
Hold on, Jerry. Let me interrupt
I
here.
think they are. Like one real quick about Epic. I mean, Pete Nubb showed up to Hypefestation, and I'm telling you, like he's so with it. He's so with this movement. He loves Gears. He loves competitive Gears. Like he listens to everybody's questions. Like he is about his business when it comes to competitive Gears. And he obviously keeps everything else in mind. And like. I think they're definitely on board. I mean, we have our moles, man. We got our moles. We got Quinn De La Hoya. He works for us. Did you know that? Did you know Quinn works for me? Got him on the inside.
I would agree with Caesar, man, because the thing is, I'm not so quick to turn on Epic, any developer for that matter, because it was just a few weeks ago. Sundance was on this show.
Turn on it.
Well, no, but listen. It was just a few weeks ago. Sundance was on this show talking up how amazing Epic was. So. To me, I'm more interested in what's actually going on behind the scenes here. Is it because I'm never one to immediately think MLG is always in the right, and I don't think you are either. But I think we have to put a little bit of thought into it. there's probably more going on than just, hey, Epic don't want to play.
I want to jump in and say there's a new financial format on the way. This old system of buying a full game for $60 and that's it, and now we get some DLC, which could be possibly a ripoff because it's just unlocking stuff on the disc. I think that business model is going out the window, and Epic Games is Epic Games. They have an engine that they sell to other developers to use for their game. And I think, a lot of the developers in the industry are eyeing up League of Legends and Riot Games because look at that business model. They're ongoing. They're constantly getting an income from releasing just small parts of the game constantly, and they're viable. They have tons of employees, and everybody's happy. And I think a lot of developers are eyeing that up, and even Epic is probably eyeing that up because those guys are smart. They're smart guys. Getting hired by Epic is nearly impossible. It's harder than getting into the CIA if you look at their percentages. And they might be gearing up for a different business. What if like the Gears multiplayer was just taken out and put on something else? Kind of like how Counter-Strike was never really Half-Life. They could be kind of like using this as a beta. I don't know. But there's a lot of things happening differently in the future.
Well, see, and that's the thing I wanted to talk about real quick is that the fact that a lot of people, for instance, with League of Legends hasn't even been announced for winter yet. And League of Legends is arguably one of the easiest games to get funds from a developer. They'll pass that shit out like candy. All right? So I don't think, there's a lot more to be said there than just Epic doesn't want to play. I would love to hear from MLG or from Epic what exactly is the holdup, rather than is it just Epic's fault? We're completely right in saying that as far as they're not willing to play with something, or is it MLG maybe asking for too much? Simply too much to ask from a developer the first time around doing something like this.
Well,
I'm open to both options.
My bad. I just want to throw something else in there as far as Epic, willing to play. Pete Nub, he brought out like 50 pounds of swag to give out. And another clutch ass thing that he did was he provided, they donated basically like 16 Gears of War 3 discs to Hypefestation. Like, that is awesome. Like, I don't give a shit if you give me a pen. You give me a pen, and I'm so appreciative. Like, I thank you. You know what I mean?
I'm so fucking sending you a pen. I really am. You're getting you're getting a fountain pen, motherfucker. Ink cartridges, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, so I have a lot of faith in it. And I'm very appreciative of Epic and Pete Nub and Quinn Delahoyo and all those guys who give us the time of day, because at the end of the day, like out of the 60,000 concurrent players, like we're just a small little group, playing that alpha playlist, like all 300 of us, bless our little souls. But I mean, like they're paying attention to us. You know what I mean? And I think if they continue to do so, they're going to realize that, we're small now, but we could grow, because the best form of advertisement is word of mouth. I mean, I've gotten, you could just, and the more content we get to push out there, and the more we convince these new guys, like how amazing Gears is, like the more people are going to buy Gears, and the more people are going to tell other people, and it's just going to grow. So, the
more people that buy Gears and then buy the Gears DLC to enjoy it more.
Yeah. And the hardcore players being the most vocal, yada, 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 that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I think I completely agree with people that, you should demand more out of your developers, but I think we need to demand a little bit more openness when it comes to what's going on, too, to an extent, and that way we know what we need to demand from the developers. Mm-hmm. Right now, everyone in the Gears community is fucking clueless. Because what do we demand? Do we demand money? Do we demand some kind of, support within the game? Do we demand some kind of spectator clout? What is missing here? And we don't fucking know. And MLG's not telling us, and neither is Epic. So,
well, here's the thing, though, too. And, I've been really a shithead here and playing devil's advocate. I don't want to have you on the show so we could poo-poo Gears or Epic. What I did want to do is really point out something. And you guys really... Sorry to troll you like this and set everybody up for this, but I want you to think about something. Sundance tweeted, hey, I might have something great in the works with Epic for later down the year. And as soon as it found out that or Gears wasn't going to be at the Winter Championship, people started to get upset, right? I'm just sort of looking at this, right? And then on top of that, right, when Halo was announced, I think about Fallout. Halo gets everything handed to them, but the Gears community has to work so hard. Forgive me. I like Johnny Fallout, I really do. But I'm just going to say this. Please don't say that you work hard for anything. You're going to humor me. You poor gamers, the way you slave away playing your game. Yeah, fucking you guys, you Gears community guys, the way you work. Oh, my God. I don't know how you guys do it. You're an inspiration to me, let me tell you. I'm overpaid is what I realize when I look at your guys' work ethic. I really am. But, but that aside, right, that stupid shit aside, or, mine whatever fuck's name was that was shitting on Sundance because Call of Duty wasn't announced. I do agree with all of you, really, that I don't think the story is over. Epic has looked at it, and I think that Sundance has made it clear that there's room to maneuver. I just think not in time for this event. And I mean, the great thing about the MLG season is it's flexible. So if I were a Gears of War community member, I would be doing everything I could to promote this game. I mean, no offense to the audience, but I wouldn't have you guys on the show if I thought Gears of War was dead and it didn't matter.
Right.
It wouldn't be worth doing, right? I think the important part now is a lot of positive things have happened. I think Dakota Rapture said it really well about continuing getting together in person, right? There could be a Hypefestation in the Midwest, at the West Coast, borrowing the Hypefestation and running it, so it's themed the same. Before we even jump there, I got to come back to questions about Hypefestation 3. And the reason I say that is because I do believe the show must go on, right? 10,000 people viewed Hypefestation 2. There is an audience out there. And that audience could grow. And again, this will tie into my rant later. But I really want to ask you guys, what can you say about Hypefestation 3? Because, look, it's difficult to lock down venues, to get sponsors, to get commitments, to do all these things. And it's hard to talk about a lot of things without those commitments. But, obviously, I'm assuming you want to do a Hypefestation 3. And let's assume that it all fell into place, which is a big assumption, I know. You want to do a Hypefestation 3. What would you like to do different? I'm going to start with you, Caesar, and tell us what you can. Because I know until things are signed and money's in an account, it's all talk.
Yeah, we don't have any 100%, you don't have anything 100% locked down as of yet. But I can tell you that there's going to be the next type of Hypefestation is going to be an installment of Hypefestation. It's not necessarily going to be a Hypefestation. And pretty much the name that we've came up with for the next installment of the project is basically, it's going to be called the Hype 16. Okay? Kind of like the Sweet 16, but more like the Hype 16. Now, this isn't going to have, there's not going to be, it's almost going to be it's going to be what we wanted to do with Hype 1, but just a more focused event. Now, people, I don't want people to think that we're taking, we're just like, wow, you guys went from 32 teams to 16 teams. It's more like we're just doing what, we're just being responsible. We're being responsible and we're doing something that we could control, and we're going to do a couple of different experiments and focus on the production of the stream and make sure, people are getting more of a consistent, show, than they did for when we had the 32 team event. Okay. Which was, a little fagage, so to speak. But, the next event is going to be called the Hype 16. And we haven't really, went over all the logistics yet. But it's pretty much going to be another 16-team event, okay? Every single Gears of War player in the world is going to have an opportunity to compete at this event, okay? So there will be some type of installment of an online qualifier, all right? We haven't really figured out how many online qualifiers we're going to have, but, there's going to be no excuse. You're gonna have your shot to compete again.
Shall I applaud him for doing an online qualifier? Yes, thank you.
That's great.
So, what else is there? Jay, you want to add anything? I just had a brain fire.
Well, we're regressing just a tiny bit to experiment in a controlled environment. With 16 teams, there's not this making up and breaking up of 32 teams. It's just 16 if there's any drama. So it's easier to handle the teams which would be the control, and then maybe we can do it in a day or 2 days. It's just to experiment how well we can produce a show, so we have a really good portfolio item. and then we could really talk about what Hype 3 could be. And we also need to give time to the community to just look. There was a Hypefestation. We could do it again, but don't just wait for us. We need your help. You can't just wait for another Hype 3. If you wait, nothing happens, and it's going to be harder for us to produce one. You know, we need people to get on the streams, make your own locals. Every time I see someone tweet the Hypefestation, you know, some type of educational video or an article written on Gears, I put it right back out and with a retweet. And I just encourage the community to grow, because that solid growth is what this game needs. It doesn't need like an explosion of attention and then to just dissipate, kind of like Halo might.
So many problems.
The call out.
That's a great point.
It is a good point. Yeah, I mean, for all we know, this could be Halo's last event on the circuit. I said it last week, you know, and Jerry even said it earlier this episode. There is a very big flexibility this season for MLG. You know, hell, we could have 4 titles. And I'm just saying a hypothetical here. There's no way this is going to happen. But technically, we could have 4 different games next event just because of the way the season is set up. So
I think that and I don't want to like cut you off but
you're good.
I mean, there's things that, like, we should really do this game analysis thing I want to get to, but I want to make sure that we've sort of, really thought through the Hypefestation thing. Let me back up to something you said, Jason. You know, last season on the Halo thing, I really do mean what I said about the Halo community, right? I think the right thing for MLG to do was to do one more event and then explore their options again. But I do firmly believe, right, that in this case, Halo was sort of the fat girl that, you know, nobody had taken to the prom, and they were late to the prom date, so they took Halo out, right? I mean, this is one of those awkward dates, because I don't feel that this is something that, you know, was their first choice. It shouldn't have been their first choice. Let's face facts. It should not have been their first choice. From a strictly business perspective.
Agreed.
There are better options. Call of Duty is probably the best business choice, to put it coldly. But there are problems with Call of Duty and Major League Gaming's format. You know, I get fucking the Call of Duty community. Oh, you know, you should have been at the event in LA. Or, oh, look at Gunner Optics is doing this. Please stop. Please fucking stop. There is no way to hold an open fucking event on Xboxes with Call of Duty if you don't have split screen. That's the first fucking problem. You may not want to believe that, but anybody who's run a tournament where you've got more than 16 teams showing up, right, when you have 80 fucking teams showing up, 320 players, that's a little bit different story, right? No split screen. There's a lot of things that affect MLG's decision on how they want to run that, right? And I say this again, that it doesn't mean that Call of Duty can't be on the MLG Pro Circuit, just like Gears of War could very well be. But there are problems, right? And again, to Curt, your point, it's not so much about giving up on developers or that I'm shunning them. I mean, we are a small group. Let's face facts. I mean, you know, it's great that Quindle La Jolla love it. It's great that, you know, Peter was out, but at some level, Epic has a new IP coming out. The company is gearing up for their next big thing.
Yeah. The business model isn't there.
Right. And I mean, I think, and if you guys don't mind, I really do want the Gears community to do the things that Jason said, but I think that this conversation we have had for fucking 5 years. I'm not going to lie to you. We've had these shitty conversations for 5 years. Is this game going to be on? 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 Over this last week, I'm going to be honest with you, I've had it up to here. And this goes to Major League Gaming. This goes to IPL. This goes to everybody else there. Curt, you may disagree with me. I'm going to warn you right now. All right? But stop giving your shit away for free.
Here we go.
All of them. I am sick of every one of these whiny little monkeys hanging out on a free stream. Fuck them. Right? Start charging. You know what? I was looking at the Gunner Optics trailer. This is no fucking lie. About the best players who are playing at fucking this big Call of Duty event for Gunner Optics. You know what? I'm not fucking sold. In a matter of fact, I don't think anybody's sold. right? You know why? Because the vast majority of the people in the world don't know who the fuck Optic Gaming is, right? All these players work so hard. Oh, they have a lot of skill. Now, I agree that's true, but nobody cares. Nobody in the greater community cares. We need to start making it so we matter, right? We almost need a whole fucking new campaign, I Matter. It's called the I Matter campaign, right? And I don't know if young people get this, but the world inherently doesn't really give a shit about anybody. Whether you're Barack Obama, the President of the United States, or you're fucking Jerry Prohaska on a podcast show, the world really doesn't fucking care. And a matter of fact, if I picked up your insignificant ass right now and I plucked you off Earth and I put you, let's say, on Alpha Centauri, and you looked up at the big fucking sky and I said, you see that one little dot up there? That's Earth. And then poof, it went away. You'd be like, oh, one less dot in the sky. That's how fucking insignificant the whole thing is in the grand scheme of things. Why is this important? Because if we don't find a model that directly gets revenue, this shit is dead. This shit is dead. And we have finally gotten to a point where we can actually pay, right? We pay to go to events. But then all these people sit at home and they watch eSports on their fat fucking ass. And they're like, oh, I'm watching this, I'm watching this, I'm watching this. I got news for you. Stop fucking giving it away. If fucking Huck and Idra are so good, make people pay some money to watch them, right? And what the fuck? All of you in the audience, I'm going to be honest with you. All the bullshit you spend money on. You know what? The nice thing about running VV Gaming is in my shout box over the last 5 years, I have seen people complain about how they waste their money. Oh, I watched a fucking stupid movie. I can't believe I spent $12 going to the movie theater. Oh, I can't believe I spent $60 on a shitty game. Oh, I can't believe my Netflix subscription. I always get 3 videos, but I only ever fucking watch 1. And the list goes on. Why doesn't MLG or somebody just fucking charge these people? Look, if you can't fucking hold an event and charge fucking money for it, then eSports is dead. eSports is dead. You all have been kids. I'm going to be honest with you. I make triple digits in my fucking day job, and I don't do shit, right? I don't do shit. I can run VVD game, go to the gym in the morning, meet with my personal trainer, do a fucking podcast show, because I don't do shit. My life is good. I'm one of those people who's highly educated, and I don't work. While my mother and father, who my dad worked in a factory, my mom cleaned fucking toilets her whole life, those people worked. You all probably don't fucking work either. Most of you are kids. Many of you are in college. Most of you are sucking off someone's tit. Can you fucking flip $20 to MLG or IPL or the World Cyber Games to watch something? Or Hypefestation? Can you give them $3.99? No, $3.99 is almost $40,000 or $4,000 fucking dollars, right? Throw them a little bit of money. Stop giving the shit away for free.
Yeah, that's right,
really
motherfucker.
Be nice? No, I'm not done. You know what really would be nice? If fucking, here's the model. Everybody's on goddamn Twitch TV. Fuck, fucking Day 9 right now is probably streaming, or somebody's streaming fucking Kingdoms of Amalur, Reckoning, and getting 16,000 viewers, and I got a Call of Duty fan. Why isn't my game on a circuit? You know why? Start voting with your wallet. Right? This whole thing needs an enema and a revolution. It needs to start. Major League Gaming needs to start charging money to spectate Huck and Idra. If they're so fucking... I go to, oh, this pisses me off. I go to fucking Kickstarter. I'm looking at Kickstarter, and here's a fucking documentary. We raised $25,000 from the StarCraft community, so we can move a documentary nobody's probably going to fucking watch anyway. Great. Way fucking good for fucking you. Good job. Now, $25,000 to Major League Gaming would do a whole lot of fucking good to flying players out, maybe giving a little revenue back, or as both you, Jason, and Caesar mentioned, well, we found out we were understaffed. Yeah, well, guess what? When you go to the level of Major League Gaming or IPL, you got to pay people. They don't come out and volunteer. This isn't fucking a donkey show where I sit around and we're like, oh, this is fun. What? Give me free fucking videos. Give me free analysis. Give me free bullshit. Pay for it, right? I'm sick and tired of amateurs ruining it for professionals. The one thing about streaming videos, it's just like fucking Harlan Ellis, the writer, said during the writer's strike. Oh, Warner Brothers coming to somebody going, to a professional writer going, oh, will you put an extra on my DVD for me? Yeah, sure, pay me for it. Oh, pay you? Well, you know, so-and-so's doing it for free. Bullshit, pay me. Well, that's the truth here now. You know what? VV Gaming raised $4,500 for a new website. We thought hopefully we'd get close in 30 days. We raised it all in 2 weeks. Why? Because the people in the community wanted a fucking decent website. They wanted something to be proud of, right? So don't fucking tell me that Major League Gaming IPL can't charge for fucking streams. Do not tell me this. And all of you motherfuckers out there who are complaining why your game isn't on a fucking pro circuit, I have questions for you, right? I have a lot of questions for you. One, do you own an MLG shirt? Do you own an MLG hat? Do you own an MLG controller? How many MLG events have you been to? Are you a gold member? Are you a silver member? You know, you're awfully quick to pew-pew the Halo community, but the one thing about Halo community is they all seem to be wearing MLG branded merchandise for better or worse. For 7 fucking years of it. So yeah, give them one more fucking event. Good for them. As I said last week, they deserve it. But this model needs to change. I am telling you all, if we do not find a way to monetize esports, it's dead. And it should start with motherfucking StarCraft. Since they can raise $25,000 here, $25,000 here, fuck, Alex Garfield makes $2 million according to his babble. $750 to $2 million or whatever. People should pay for this. If fucking Huck and Idra and Naniwa and all these people at StarCraft are as amazing as you all say, cough up some money for the leagues that provide them the platform to do it. Because I'll tell you what, if you were to take sports and compare it, so this part of the rant, for those of you that are listening, is a business lesson. Now, somewhere out there, there's some fucker on Twitter, I can't wait for it, probably that fuckstick from cadre.org, who's going to say something stupid as if he knows anything. But that's not important. What is important is we have that television thing going on in real sports. Well, guess what? We got Twitch TV. Twitch TV should be like the cable fucking company for fucking esports. And then we got like MLG, kind of like the ESPN. MLG needs 4 or 5 fucking channels, MLG 1, MLG 2, then bundle in IPL 5, IPL 6, then put in fucking WCG 7 and 8, and then all the way on the back ass end of channel 32, you got Hypefestation, at least right now. When you guys grow, you know, maybe get a better channel. But the point is, at the end of the day, you could have a whole fucking bundle of esports goodness, right, on Twitch TV, one fucking partner, right? So I'm sorry if you're in another fucking place, but I think I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm throwing my eggs in the basket of the people who will fucking make money. So if you want my support, you want me to clap about what you're doing, charge somebody. I am sick and tired of esports giving shit away for free. You know what? You know who gives shit away for free? All those stupid Call of Duty fucking montages on YouTube. Go fucking put Call of fucking YouTube, and you get every shitty... That was the same thing with Gears 3 years ago. Oh, LordJerith, do you want to see my headshot montage? No. Not only do I want to see your shitty headshot montage, what the fuck do you think I do all day? You think I'm bored? They're like, I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to look fucking headshot montages. No. This also goes out to the fighting game community, if any of them are listening. If you're a fighting game community member, like I know Rapture is, go tell your friends, Mortal Kombat 9 and fucking Soul Calibur 5 are going to be on the fucking MLG Pro Circuit. You know how many fucking bullshit Street Fighter kids are going to whine, cry, and not support it? And then they're going to be pissed off later when, you know what, we don't want esports. As a matter of fact, I don't want to get into it. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to zen away from that.
Don't even. Don't even.
But I am not lying to you when you are hearing my voice tonight. Someone needs to charge money, right? Because I tell you what, here's what we'll do.
Fuck it, run a commercial.
I know, right? Run a fucking commercial. All right, we don't need a fucking commercial. I don't need the money. Here's the fucking thing, right? Here is what I'm talking about. Here's what I will do. All of you on in this channel right now, you go tell your fucking friends. Here's my challenge to you. I have a Mumble channel that can hold 400 people. All right? 400 fucking people. I will host an event where I will take every and any console player, and if you're wondering, that's going to be a mess, don't worry. Mumble's got a ton of features, so you'll shut the fuck up when you need to, and you'll be able to enjoy the presentation. But I'll put console players in it. And if you're one of those guys who's always been like kind of pew-pewing StarCraft, why don't you fucking learn StarCraft? I'll bring you over, and I've got a fucking community of aces who will fucking teach you to play StarCraft. Teach you how to spectate the game. Help you figure out why the fuck it's so goddamn popular. Right? And then after that, right, maybe what you can do, this is going to be fucking crazy, but maybe you could buy some shit. Not for me. Don't even buy shit for me. Buy it from EG Complexity Major League Gaming. Go buy shit. If somebody's going to pay to put a stream on Twitch TV, buy it. Well, I don't like StarCraft. It's not my game. Fuck you. Fuck you. We're never going to get to your game. We're never going to get to your game because if StarCraft doesn't fucking sell, your shit won't sell. Smell the motherfucking coffee. So if there is going to be a goddamn eSports, people are going to have to pay money. And I've had about enough of the giving it away for free. Major League Gaming could not afford to hire me, and I mean this, because I wouldn't work for under 3K, 3 digits. I wouldn't. Well, maybe 89 or 95 if I really fucking had a good transfer package to New York City. Right? Maybe. And this is me just talking out of my ass. I have no idea what their budget is or what they can afford. I'm just telling you. And you know why? Because I have no doubt they can't fucking make money. Well, here it is. This is the golden fucking moment. You have all the right fucking pieces in place. You have the greatest game on earth. Well, then fucking monetize it. If all these fucking StarCraft community members who can hang out on fucking that shitty Team Liquid site, no offense to Team Liquid, my fucking God, that's one of the ugliest sites in the universe, right? It's like fucking 4chan. Nice and simple. Yeah, like fucking 10 years old simple. I swear to God, I hope Blizzard fucks over the GSL and fuck Brood War. That's a whole nother fucking story. Anyway, monetize it. Monetize it. Because I've been watching it for 5 years. If Major League Gaming cannot fucking sell, I don't know, do like UFC, pay-per-view or some shit, right? Do something, right? But monetize it. And if these motherfuckers won't pay, fucking call up Oak Investments, say this fucking game's over, we gotta sell, we gotta get out of Dodge, because these fucking gamers are fucking full of shit. Give me free streams, give me fucking Stefano, give me fucking my Korean players, give me, oh wait, I gotta pay for it. Oh, fuck that. Well, fuck you. If you can't put your money where your mouth is, then this isn't gonna work. And I am sick and tired of people begging, oh, I wish my game was on a pro circuit. There is a rule in business. What have you done for me lately? Lately. That's a really important fucking word in that phrase. Right? Right? Yeah. Thank you. Can I get an amen?
Amen, brother.
Thank you. So what the fuck have you done for me lately? Oh, the Gears... You know what? When people told me, oh, Jerry, don't turn your back on the Gears community because they built you. Even if that were true, what the fuck have you done for me lately? Well, right now, Major League Gaming has done a lot to fucking... That winter fucking arena, right? You want to do your big event on the 24th to 26th of February, where it is? Fuck your qualifier. You invited all them motherfuckers. You're paying all them motherfuckers. You know what? Why don't you find out if those motherfuckers are worth as much as everybody thinks they are? Charge people. Sundance said, would you spend $20 to $25 UFC on Twitter? You know what? Charge $20 to motherfucking $25 for that. Why? Because we have to monetize this shit. Right? If we don't monetize esports, this is dead. So I don't care if you're doing Hypefestation, Evo, I don't care what. Monetize it. Otherwise, send them all home. Because all these motherfucking kids out there are telling their parents they want to be a professional gamer. They want to be a pro. They're going to be a gamer. They're going to work in the game industry. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, this is to all you want to be pros. All you kids with a dream. Let me give you education, too. You're not going to be a professional gamer. Probably not. I'm 95. I'm too generous. 99% you ain't going to do shit. Just to be honest. You sit around, you tell yourself you're going to go pro, you're going to play the game. No, you're not. What you need to do is you need to sit yourself down, spend $20, watch a fucking stream, and watch real people play. You really do. Right? And if that's not interesting to you, take your fat ass and get a job or go to college or something. But do not fucking delude yourself into believing that, because that's not going to happen. So let's just get done with this, right? Here's the other thing. You may not know this, but one of the reasons I rag on the Halo community a lot has to do with T-Square dropping out of high school and how stupid I think that is. And how Halo players tell me about how cool that is. I want to be like T-Squared. I'm like, yeah, talk to me in 5 years. And now they do, by the way. And they do see the wisdom in that. But I want to mention something else. We all get that big events like Major League Gaming used to be. That shouldn't be the event's not the driver. That's like fucking football. It's not the fucking people that go to the stadium that make the game, right? It's the 10 million people sitting on their ass watching the game that make the money. Oh, and let me also think through this. Now, I want all of you to think about how many of you own an NFL jersey or hat or a Major League Baseball hat. Go ahead, look through your wardrobe. How much stuff do you think is branded by the NFL or Major League Baseball? Maybe fucking Caesar's got a pen with an NFL logo on it. Who the fuck knows? But if we don't monetize this, it's over. So you know what? I don't care if you're poor. I really don't. But I think it's time for the We Matter campaign, or I Matter. If you want your game on the pro circuit, we need a rally behind one or two. Now, all of you know, I do not have a top StarCraft division. We're competitive, but we're not EG. We're not Complexity. We don't have high-priced Koreans. So I don't have a vested interest in this. I don't
buy a Korean.
I don't have a stake in this, right? I never bought a Korean. I don't have a stake in this.
Hey now, you own a Korean now. Come on now, Jerry.
No, I mean, that's the Korean who wants to go to GSL, and it's kind of like the VV model in Korea. That's completely different. But here's the point, right? We got to figure a way, I mean this, to support StarCraft. I think every fucking console gamer, I really do, you all should learn motherfucking StarCraft.
I agree.
am not
100%
lying.
StarCraft.
Caesar, I'm glad you said that, because I am not lying. You should learn StarCraft. Look, I know that everybody has an opinion, right, about everybody else in this small little fucking industry that we call esports. But I'm telling you right now, 5 years into this, I've had it up to here. So if you come to me crying about your game, I'm going to ask you, where do you spend your money? Where do you spend your money? Because if fucking StarCraft can give $25,000 here for this shitty documentary and $25,000 here for this shitty documentary, side note, I'm using the term shitty as sort of a rant term. We had a documentarist on the show who I liked very much, and I hope his documentary is successful. And another $25,000 here for this shitty documentary I don't fucking care about. Why the fuck can't we see support somewhere else? So I am telling you, right, I don't care where you live or what you do, money makes the world go round. And if your mother and father didn't tell you that, it's true. And there is fairness and there is ethics in business, but it's about what you have done for me lately. So I hope to God Major League Gaming starts charging. I hope fucking IPL charges. I hope fucking Devastation and Evo charge. You want to sit on your ass and watch fucking esports? Pay for it. You want to be a pro gamer? Pay for watching pro gamers play. You want to fucking talk about how much you know about StarCraft? Pay for it. Right? Because you know what happens if you pay for it? Maybe I won't have to watch shitty fucking casters. Right? Don't even get me started on shitty fucking casters. Right? Thank God StarCraft has Day 9 and DJ Wee, people who I like. Right? And others. Tasteless, Artosis. I don't want to leave anybody out. But you get what I'm saying. I love Golden Boy in Call of Duty. I would love to have Caesar do Gears, but he wants to play. Barbosa does a great job helping out with all that they do, right?
Thank you.
But at the end of the day, I mean, Gandhi, I can take her leave. I'm just going to be honest, but it's all right. But shitty fucking maybe they could pay money for better casters. Get people interested in having careers in esports. People, we have to grow this, right? We need really smart people, and they have to come on our dime, right? If fucking 50,000 people... Okay, so ESL is another example. It's another fucking thing that pisses me off. This is to the Europeans and all you motherfucking Europeans who tote this bullshit. Because it's bullshit. We got 250,000 people viewing our stream. Big fucking deal. Did you monetize that? Really? Don't fucking bullshit me. Do not bullshit me. You got 250,000 people that paid $20. Oh, now you got some fucking shit. Now I'm listening. But until that, I don't fucking care. And until we get this whole fucking thing set on the right course, you are all deluding yourself. So I am going to make clear, and I'm going to say this publicly now. If anybody wants to charge shit for content, and it's good fucking content, I will pay for it. I will tell other people to pay for it. I will tell them to tell other people to pay for it. Right? And this is to you. You. And I'm going to tell you who you is. So everybody knows who you are. You are that fat little kid who's hunched over on his controller, eating his fucking Doritos, looking at his monitor, sort of like shaking his right leg and wanting to be a pro gamer. You fat, miserable pig. The one who mommy and daddy has fed your fat ass to your own fucking obesity and you don't do shit. I'm talking to you right now. I want you to hear something from me. When this fucking shit hits and you're fucking dumb, one-eyed, because your other eye's closed by fat ass, fucking decide I fucking buy this. Don't make me laugh. I should buy this stream money, or I should buy this MLG jersey, I should buy this IPL hat. Yes, you cow. You should march your fat Dorito-eating ass to the fucking website and order it like you do everything else in your miserable life.
Yeah, motherfucker, do push-ups.
Now, with all that being said, right, I really mean this. It is time to vote with your wallets. I really mean this. And it's time to support one or two big things. No offense to Nazzle, but you don't have my vote. IPL's got shit to prove, but we'll see. If they want to fucking stream top StarCraft players, I'll pay for it. ESL, you want to stream top StarCraft players? Have somebody fucking pay for it. League of Legends, you want to stream fucking top League of Legends teams? Make people pay for it. Make sure you have good fucking casters, though. I'm just telling you how it is. So at the end of the day, that's my fucking message. Pay for it. And all of you out there, I swear to God, at Major League Gaming, I don't know what you do, but you got two good things going. That arena is going to be copied by 50,000 people. Hype 16, no offense, I don't think you are, but Hype 16 is the same lesson that the fucking StarCraft 2 Winter Arena is. Why the fuck should we hold this big fucking event where 90 fucking thousand people who stink have to show up? Why not just take the top talent, put them in a fucking room, have them fucking play, treat them nicely, put it out on stream. Everybody can sit at home on their fat ass watching eSports, talking about how much better they are than these shitty teams. Yeah. Cry about why their fucking ass wasn't invited. Yay. And then we got fucking business being made. Instead of this big events, which I'm glad you went to 4, because I don't think you should do more than 4. Right? Fuck it. It's a privilege to be able to come. Could you imagine if fucking the NFL did a free-for-all where any motherfucker wanted to come play football? We had qualifiers. Jenkins trying to throw the ball to fucking Billy McGee, and he fucking trips, falls, breaks his leg, and we got to sit there 15 minutes while the ambulance drags his lifeless corpse off the fucking field. Not a chance. Not a chance. So fuck it. If you're great, and one more thing, so I'm going to be laugh here. One more thing, and I mean this sincerely, I really do. I swear to God, make them pay. Because I tell you what, I will teach any console player. You know what? You may hate VV Gaming. Some people out there. I don't know. Arctic, you pick somebody. I don't know who the last person I may have pissed off is. Fucking MLG McNinja or whoever the fuck Halo player got pissed off. I don't care. But I will make sure that our community teaches you StarCraft. Maybe you'll start to realize why I built VVV Gaming. Because one day, we got to create fans. Well, now's that time. So I am not asking you to buy VV products. Fuck. I'm not asking you to do shit for us. But the leagues, the actual industry of esports, you better fucking open your wallets. And I think, no offense, but StarCraft, You're the fucking big shit in the house right now. You are the most viewed, record-breaking, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Well, as I said earlier, and I want to make this clear, if Major League Gaming holds an event, and let's say they have 20, 25 hours of content, and they charge $1 an hour for that content, right? Follow me with this model. And they know they got 80 fucking thousand people on a stream. I can calculate how much fucking money that is. That's something. You can afford $20. You can afford $30. Some of you have bought shitty fucking games for $60 motherfucking dollars. You probably got a fucking living room full of shitty fucking games. Games that you've traded into fucking GameStop because you don't like them anymore. Oh, how many of you motherfuckers have bought a game, traded it in because you were done with it, bought a used one again, traded it in, bought a used one, traded again? How much fucking money have you wasted on gaming, seriously? So I'm telling you right now, IPL, MLG, charge these motherfuckers. Charge them. Don't give shit away for free. Stop it. GSL charges it. These motherfuckers won't stay up because they can't if they'll watch the fucking VODs because they want to see it. All of you should charge it. I'm serious. Same, and that should go for all the events. Now, here's the thing. The people who show up at Major League Gaming events, right, those people, I was never a big fan of you charging spectator fees. Maybe you have to. Give it to them for free. They're your big hype audience. Of course, it would help if those motherfuckers bought MLG gear while they're there. So instead of paying $25 in the door, they pay fucking $50 for a T-shirt. Probably make just about a sweatshirt. Probably make about the same amount of money. Buy shit. I'm tired of people giving it away for free. And all you new organizations coming out there, new players coming out there, you go right ahead and you give away your shit for free. Because whether there's 9 million montage videos or 9 million and fucking 100,000, I really don't care. But you know what? And I want it fucking classy too. I want to be able to talk to my StarCraft division, pull up Huck versus ZYDRA from the last fucking StarCraft arena, and have fucking detailed commentary. I want goddamn statistics on the fucking screen, and I want some professional shit. Give me that so I can educate future players, and those future players can educate other players, and we got actual stats with real commentary. We'll go somewhere. Charge them. Charge them for it. And you know what I want to know, too? I want to know all you motherfuckers on Twitter who don't want to pay for it. Go ahead and tweet me. Tweet me right the fuck now so I know who the fuck doesn't want to pay for it. Because I'd be really surprised. You're going to surprise me about why you can't spend a little bit more money on esports. So with episode 101, and probably until I quit VV Gaming, shit does not need to be free anymore. Certainly not in StarCraft. And I'm going to say this again to the console gamers. I don't want this point lost. Pay a little bit of money, buy merchandise, or learn StarCraft. I mean it. There's a reason this is one of the most popular fucking... You know what? I'll give you a prime example. I had a Call of Duty player the other day who came to me, and I said something about what DJ Wheat and Day 9 do well. And he went, who's that? And I went, who's that? Wow, okay, that's fair. That's fair. He's a Call of Duty player. He doesn't know. But really? You don't know? Come on, where you been living? Someone should have educated him. That's all I'm going to say about this. I really mean it. I hope Major League Gaming, IPL, ESL, charge for top content. Don't give anything away for free. And all of you should be quietly talking to your friends on Xbox Live, on PSN, at local events, and say, you want to know why our game isn't on the pro circuit? Because we're not putting out the money. And I'm telling you right now, if Major League Gaming charges or IPL charges for StarCraft content, they'll get the fucking money. Because if they don't, this shit's dead. And if they do, and you wonder why your game's not on the fucking circuit, Show me the fucking money. Show me how your community spends. I am sick and tired of esports being looked at like a bastard child because we give all this shit away for free. If you want to be professional, charge for your services. Right? You think I would do data services? You think if Major League Gaming came to me and say, hey, LordJerith, we got a bunch of HR data. We want to start retaining some of our best employees. Could you crunch this for me? Yeah. Once you fucking line my hand with fucking silver, maybe. This isn't fucking a free-for-all. I don't need Major League Gaming to me with a tin cup. Oh, LordJerith, will you do me a fucking favor? It doesn't work that way. You fucking show me the money. Well, the same thing holds true for everything else. Show me the money. That's all I got. So, yeah. Sorry for all that time. I had to get it off my chest. I will promise you that my StarCraft division right now is like, yeah, we really want to train a bunch of console players. But they will. They will because they have. I've seen it. I really mean that. And any other organization that wants to do it, e.g., if In Control wants to do it, Check 6, this isn't a VVV only thing. Well, let's get everybody behind one game so everybody at least is on the same fucking page. And let's get everybody spending money on something. One thing. Right? And then when fucking Columbus goes around, right? Let's get everybody to MLG Columbus. And when the IPL might be at a casino, I don't know yet, But if IPL were at a place where it could all go. Right? And if you're poor, right, you're probably able to find $5 or $10 here or there. Borrow it from a friend like you do for your fucking smokes. And don't buy cigarettes, spend it on a fucking stream. I'm very serious about this. I really am. It's not going to go away. I don't care if Major League Gaming comes out tomorrow and says, oh, ha, 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 no. We're going to give it away for free. I'm going to go, and you're going to be out of fucking business then. You keep giving it away for free. You keep waiting for those magical sponsors to show up and not ask the fans to fucking pay for it. From UFC to NASCAR to football to everything else, fans are paying for shit. What the fuck? Esports is a tiny little dot. We're like the boutique. We should be spending money. All right, I'm done. I really am.
Guys, we need to monetize esports. If you guys didn't catch that.
What? No. Can I ask a serious question here? Serious question?
What was
Bad,
it?
we'll go around. We'll go with you, Jason, because Kurt's not going to shut up. So hold on, Curt.
No, he's not. Curt, shut up.
Go ahead. We got to let Jason go first. I know you, Curt. You're not going to be quiet.
No, you talked for an hour and a half, and I'm the one not being quiet. Come on.
I just want to give Jason a shot in, because if you shut him up now, he won't talk again for the rest of the show.
This is like a repeat of the end of last week. What the hell's going on here? No, why did we do the top rants episode last week?
Yeah.
That was just mind-blowing. I mean, do you have any response to the people in the chat that currently are saying that entire rant was pointless? I'd like to know that.
That it was pointless?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd like to. I'm gonna validate what Jerry just said, because the budget that we had for Hypefestation, Caesar and I are figuring out how we're going to take care of the negative. It's on us. And just to move the equipment back and forth from the venue, which is 10 miles from my house, using a U-Haul cargo van, I'm $300 in the hole on that. And there's a whole bunch of nitpicky expenses that, we're picking up the bill.
Jason, can I cut you off for a second?
Sure.
Because I think I want to point this out. You see, to all of those people who thought it was pointless, fuck them. I really mean this. Don't even listen to the show. Because here's the truth, right? You are 300. You busted your ass for the event. You put all this shit together, and you're $300 out of this fucking hole. And meanwhile, fucking Chubby's on his ass eating fucking Doritos, being like, thank you. Give me free. Fuck him. I'm serious. That's the shit that has to stop. I know you guys mean well. Hypefestation is new, and maybe you need to give a little to build the brand. I understand that. To anybody who's some fucking asshole is going to say something like I don't know what I'm talking about, but we'll let that go. Major League Gaming, the league shouldn't. They've been around way too long. You may continue, sir, though. I just had to get that out. It upsets me that people don't understand that this costs money, and they take, and they take, and they take, and that shit's got to stop.
And people think money grows on trees. I remember my mom used to say that all the time. And I swear, kids still think money just grows on trees. But go on, Jason.
No, we're in the hole. We had expenses, And, we had some gracious sponsors that came in, and Beyond Gaming being the main one that believed in us and definitely helped out with the bulk of the expenses. Those sponsors weren't profit. Those sponsors were paying for expenses. And we never made a profit on that event. That was like a portfolio piece that was like, hey guys, we can do this, build the community, maybe we'll be back. That type of thing after I'm done working off my debt. And I just hope, people see that, appreciate that, realize that. And MLG took on investors. And investors doesn't mean money. Investors means like partnership and debt. So it's like give them what they need to keep going. And we'll do something with Hypefestation. Hopefully, the reason we're regressing to this 16, and that's what Caesar was saying earlier, is because we can't do that again. We're not going to be able to do it on our own. So we're going to bring it back. It's a portfolio piece. We can run a tight stream. We can run a tight tournament. It's going. And I mean, Jerry, for Hypefestation 2, would you pay $2 to see that for the whole weekend?
Dude, here's the thing, right? I don't know if anybody's realized this. Like, some people come up to me and they're like, they give me different sort of like little fucking comments about like they know shit about VV Gaming's business, right? Like, I had a guy the other day, not gonna lie to you, came to me and said, "Oh, I've been around since Counter-Strike 1.2 beta Alpha Charlie, and I made 30 to 50K a year. I know esports." No, you didn't. No, you fucking didn't. No, you didn't. I just want to let you know, no, you didn't. You did not. Maybe a few players did, but this guy who was talking to me, no, you haven't. See, the bullshit in esports has to end. All the egos got to go away. I don't care. If you are fucking successful in making money at esports, teach the rest of us how. I'm being dead honest. Stop bullshitting. ESL, because I can't think of an industry that doesn't share information. Right? I really do. I know this because I live in the real world. Lawyers from competing firms get together and talk. Politicians from competing fucking parties come together and talk. Every fucking industry has conferences where they come together and talk. Right? That's how things... Fuck, Alex Garfield is going to attend the MIT Sloan Sports thing, right? He's going to go there and fucking babble about what could esports' role be, right? Those are all sports professionals coming together from different fucking teams with different interests because industries have to work together. So I don't make money at this. I'm not a profitable businessman. That's not why I do this. To all the other guys out there who are making all this big money, oh, by all means, please educate us to your brilliance. I'm dying. Right? I'm dying to know where that comes from. Right? Because I'm tired of hearing bullshit stories. Oh, I get $30,000 a year just from advertising. No, you fucking don't. Stop. Please. If you're talking to 16-year-olds, that may work, but we're talking to adults. Stop. Please. Kid, I make a living out of fucking streaming. First question, who do you live with? My parents. Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you fucking make a living streaming, you do. You're a fucking champ. Right? I live in my own apartment. Put up your fucking camera. Let me take a look. Oh, look at that. Bare walls, painted white. You're in a fucking, 1-2-bedroom apartment. We have a pool downstairs. Ooh, wow, you big spender, you. What a fucking life you're leading. That's not an industry. So to those people who said that this is pointless, no, I think it is the most important thing. We have to monetize esports, and I think now is that time. Curt, I'll give it to you because I know you wanted to say some things. Oh my God, Curt died.
We weren't talking about Counter-Strike. That's it.
It's like all I've heard for the past hour is monetize esports, and it's like I got a headache. No, no, I'm joking. I mean, I agree with most everything you said. I don't really have any counter argument to it. I think it's great. I think everybody, if you enjoy the content, guys, you need to want to pay for it. Plain and simple. I would hope, on the same token, that people like MLG, people like IPL will try their damnedest to put out content that is worth it. Because once, thousands of people pay for your fucking content and it sucks, there's going to be a lot of pissed off people that aren't going to be giving you money again.
Can I just say something? I have to address something. Hastro tweeted me something, and sometimes when I rant, I'm sloppy. He said, I appreciate almost all of what you just had to say about monetizing. I think some bigger names have to take the first steps. I disagree with that part. But they said also the event we're having this weekend, although closed, means well for our community, and I think some people might care. And I think that was a fair comment to say back, because I said nobody cares. And I want to take that back. That's not what I meant. I think that it's not monetized, right? That's what I meant by what I want to care about, Hastro, so is about the stuff that's monetized. And I want to see Call of Duty. People should pay for quality Call of Duty comment. I thought the video said these players work so hard, da-da-da. You know what? My mom, and I mean this, I'm not kidding when I say this, my mom worked very hard cleaning toilets, but that doesn't mean, that's not a reason enough for anybody to watch it. And I think it's not about how hard the players work. It's about what the communities are willing to spend money on. And that's what I meant by that. So I think it's fair. The tweet was really fair, Hastro. And I think I really want to retract. I don't care that nobody cares that way. I think that's important because it's a very, very good thing. So go ahead, because I know that Curt, I really apologize.
No, I mean, I was basically done. I don't want to take away from your ridiculously long but conclusive rant or anything like that. I think everything was great. Like I said, once again, if one person fucks it up, it kind of fucks it up for all of us. So we need a little bit of accountability. I mean, IPL put on an amazing event. They also charge for some of their content and some of the other extra streams and things like that. I think that's a great way to start. I don't think me personally, once again, I don't think we necessarily have to charge for every piece of content out the door yet, because I don't know if we're ready for that. I don't know if we're actually able to sustain enough viewers to where we get sufficient advertising revenue while also sufficient money from coming in from people paying for the content and not trying to find some fucking way to steal it. I mean, for everybody that bought a pass to BlizzCon to watch BlizzCon online, there was, at least 10 times that tried to stream it on Ustream for free, for hundreds and hundreds of people to watch. So it's great things for us to say, Jerry, because once again, we're the hardcore. We're going to pay for any kind of amazing content, but it's not necessarily, as you quoted, the fat motherfuckers in the basement are going to pay for.
Yeah, but you know what, though? What we do have to do right is we have to encourage others to come with us. This is why I made the offer about coming out to the VV Mumble. Now, Curt, technically Curt and I, our players compete, and although we have a very good relationship, these are the kind of relationships I'm talking about. Right, I will support Hypefestation the same way I support Major League Gaming. It may be a smaller event, but it's we have to do those things, right? We have to get our friends involved in this. We have to create the stories as to why people need to care. So what I mean by that, I really mean by that, is that I know that Curt and I generally through eSports have become friends. Right, we generally have developed a mutual respect for one another through working together and talking about the events going on in esports and sharing news and information. Oh, that doesn't happen overnight, but if we do that, all of us, right, we're going to see esports grow. That's really what happens. And with that, we've got to explain to people, why am I spending $20 to watch this? Dude, because it's Huck and Idra. Who the fuck cares? Come here. Let me show you, right? One example I can give you, because I do this at work and I do it with my friends. There is a video. It's of Jimi Hendrix playing Along the Watchtower. It's a YouTube video. It's a live recording of Jimi Hendrix playing Along the Watchtower. And it's live, and it's one of the more famous presentations of it. But what I ask everybody to watch when they're watching Jimi Hendrix play the song is, if anybody here has ever played Along the Watchtower, you know that it's not easy. You know that it's got technical challenges to play it. And here is Jimi Hendrix, and you watch him, and he's chewing gum, and probably a little, high on heroin, and it doesn't even look like he's trying. That's amazing to me. That is why Jimi Hendrix is Jimi Hendrix. Well, guess what? In all of the games we love, we have players like that. We have players who achieve that level of excellence. And if I can take a player and I can show another human being what makes them so fantastic, I'm going to get someone to care. We can do that. We have to do that. Right? We are the ones who have to do that. StarCraft players have to tell other StarCraft players what makes it amazing. Call of Duty players, Hastro, the great players, they have to show us what makes a great Call of Duty player. And all of us need to stop thinking this game is better than this game or this game takes no skill. We got to start really stopping it. And I want to really set that up for this next 100 episodes. Monetizing esports, working together to promote all the games. We matter. We matter. And in order for us to matter, we got to spend money. I really sincerely believe this. And I think it's really critically important that everybody here understands that. And we in VV Gaming, I promise you, will keep doing what we're doing because our role in esports is to grow that fan base and to have a community of players that isn't always focused on being number one. They're also focused on being social, being good community members, being plugged in. We took that role on a long time ago because I knew it was going to be needed. And that doesn't mean that we don't also need the EGs and the Check Sixes and all the other great teams and organizations that are out there. But we got to do that now. It's critical. Trust me. This is almost the perfect storm. Major League Gaming, to be honest, has finally got the kind of season structure I think that makes sense. And I think we could really do some really big strides this year. But it's going to take us, at least for this year, to really work hard as an industry together. I really believe that. So, Curt, I know about the kid in the basement, but it's about reaching out to him and everyone else and getting them to understand why Jimi Hendrix is phenomenal and why watching him play along the Watchtower requires an excellence that few people can understand.
No, I agree completely. On a completely side note, because I think I'd like to cover one other thing considering you brought it up, the sort of season structure. I just want to get your opinion, and we talked about it a little bit last week, and I think you completely fucking disagreed with me, which is always a good time. The season structure, the way MLG is doing it with this possibility of picking up a game and immediately dropping a game, picking up a game and immediately dropping a game, that's going to be incredibly frustrating for someone like me and for someone like you. Like I honestly think, I think last week you said it wouldn't be, but it's hard for me to support a game that has a very, very unpredictable
Curt,
future.
I'm going to be honest, Curt. My advice to you would be, so I'm glad, let's have this actually open conversation. Everyone, we're going to have a quick open conversation, manager to manager. I would say, Curt, then do like me. There's a reason that I never paid for a flight. Then don't pay for their flight. Just reduce your investment in a team. You'd be surprised how many teams will take hotel and entry fee from you, right? And that way your investment is less because there's more risk you're taking because that team will go to one event and then dissolve. And it may not be worth you. And I know that consistency would allow you to build a long-term relationship like you can in StarCraft, like you have in other games. But maybe we're just not there yet. So that's what I would advise back, is just invest less if you can, Because I'll be honest with you, on the console side, I think no matter what Major League Gaming does, the idea of consistent teams is so rare. You're looking at 90 to 95% change rosters anyway. So I think the model works. But I do agree it's harder for you. I do.
I'm gonna throw something to Caesar here, and Caesar's gonna tell you about how we seed teams because we're encouraging that. Caesar, you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, let them know how we're seeding the teams.
Well, we're basically the Hype 16 isn't really going to have any seeding. It's going to be kind of like a random draw. But when we do the Hypefestation, it's going to be based upon Hype 2. So it's going to be 3+ original members retain their original seeding. Not their original seeding, but their seeding after the tournament, as long as they hold those 3+ original members. Once they drop below that and they only have, let's say, 2 original members, it's just going to go based off a point system. So we're going to reward people who stick together. So, for example, let's say you have a team that placed 9th or 10th at Hypefestation, and they're and they're like the fifth team that has 3+ original members, they're gonna shimmy their way up to the top of the seeding. Now, everyone also keep in mind this isn't like Gears 1 or Gears 2. Like, we're still, seeding doesn't guarantee you host, but we're gonna reward the teams that stick together in any way we can. So, we're just gonna try to encourage all the teams to do so, because these guys, like, people need to understand something. Like, stop thinking one team change is going to make a miracle for your team, and you guys are going to start beating Infinity, or you're going to beat the Insanes. You know what I mean? It's just, just get fucking good, be consistent, build up that chemistry. That's what's going to get you good. It's that simple. Like, don't think, swapping one guy, two guys is going to make the difference, because it's usually not the case. You guys caught that, or did I lag out again?
No, we caught it.
No, we're good. I absolutely love that idea, and I want to get your guys' opinion on this last thing here. Do you think, and this might be kind of a convoluted question here, but do you think MLG's sort of seasonal shift is potentially harmful for any game, not just Gears of War? Do you think it's potentially harmful for any game? And the reason I bring this up is strictly because of what we're seeing with Halo. This sort of, and I know Halo's in a different subject because it's been babied for years. It's been, as Jerry so delicately put it, suckling on the teat of MLG for years.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is from season to season here. Is it necessarily a good thing that MLG can pick up a game, support it, get it hype, have amazing results, and then drop it the next particular arena for whatever reason?
I'm going to go in here and say it's extremely unhealthy, because MLG is the paragon. That's the competitive standard. That's where you want to be. And if MLG doesn't carry it, where you want to be doesn't exist. That's why I feel bad for the Halo community. I had an argument on a stream the other night. Someone said Halo built MLG, and I'm like, well, excuse me? No, MLG built Halo. And if that doesn't support them anymore, they're going to move on. And I think it's more important for the games community and the outlets to compete, to be around. Like, it's got to be to the point where MLG can't ignore you. That's why, like, MLG cannot ignore StarCraft. There are so many good numbers and good people and good things going on in that community that it's not MLG picks it up or not. It's like MLG would be stupid not to have StarCraft. And that's what I'm kind of doing. That's what I'm encouraging with the Gears of War community. Like, if we just grow and we educate, and there's fans and there's people buying, like, hype stuff, and there's people buying things about Gears of War, and the DLC sales are good, and the numbers go back up on Gears of War 3. We have to make it a stupid decision for MLG not to carry the game. That's more the aspect than it is if MLG carries it. It's like, are we going to really convince MLG to carry this game? It's not their decision. Like, we shouldn't make it MLG's decision. It should be them not being able to avoid such a massive, stable community.
Can I play devil's advocate here for a second real quick?
Go.
And okay, so what if you're saying, it would be a bad thing for them to switch games between events, but what if they were to not necessarily drop a game after an event, but necessarily maybe do more games per year, not as many per event. Like, let's say they only do 4 or 5 games this year, but the next event they do a couple different ones, and next year they pick up another one of those. If they were doing more games total per year, but less events per game, they made it bigger for each game, would that necessarily be a bad thing because they'd be touching so many more communities? What are your thoughts? Do you think so, Jason?
I think it's exposure for the less popular games. And it's only exposure. It's like a crutch. Like, here, we're going to give you a chance. See what you can do with MLG supporting you or sanctioning your game. And then if MLG doesn't sanction the game and it flops, then that game's not worth it. So, for instance, I know MLG's been trying to chase down Capcom in Marvel vs. Capcom and Street Fighter. That game is worth it. That community's been around for 14, 15, 16, I don't even know how many years. It's almost 2 decades now, Street Fighter. Of course they want that game. They're having problems licensing with Capcom, but that's the kind of impression that needs to be made on a big organization like that. So the smaller games in that exposure, that's a chance to be something big. Like, MLG looked at you. Oh, let's do something good with it. And and Jerry's going to agree with me with the Halo community. Like, they've had MLG support them. That Halo was like a whole bunch of dorm rooms and people throwing Xboxes in dorm rooms and playing 4-player LANs and having a great time. And MLG was like, this is going to be great. And they supported it. And Halo never had its own independent community. Like if MLG doesn't pick up Halo, what happens to Halo? Who's there to pick up the ball? Who's there to run a community event? And I think that's why they're panicking. Whereas Gears is like, okay, we got hype. We'll work with hype. Like that's the kind of stability that a competitive game needs. So I don't think it's healthy for MLG to they can give games a chance. Yeah, here's a season. See what you can do with it. Let's see if it's worth another season for spectators and money. But I think it's just quick exposure. It's not stability. It's just a chance.
I want to bring in Curt on this and a couple others too. I just want to throw one thing back out at you. I dislike the idea of giving it a chance. I prefer really sound business decisions that MLG takes responsibility for. I don't believe, so let's say Major League Gaming picked up Tekken as an example, right? It's not the Tekken's community's responsibility to all of a sudden change their behavior for Major League Gaming. Major League Gaming picked the game up. Pick up the fucking game for what the community is, not what the community can be. I think that's kind of unfair. And I think that really is how business works. I mean, look, potential is fantastic, but it doesn't pay the bills. So the way I look at it is don't pick up Gears of War and then make it seem like, okay, prove to us you're worth it. Fuck that. Pick them up because they have value. And if they don't have value, tell them, look, you ain't shit, kill yourself.
Exactly.
But be honest with them, right? So I don't think that we should ever, in any league, pick something up and then have it prove itself. That sounds to me too much like the shit parents would do. Curt, I know you want to talk, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah, I agree completely. And to be honest, and I know it seems I'm a little bit extra critical of MLG at times, but I think they're supposed to be our savior at some points in time, so they deserve a little bit of criticism. A lot of the times I find fault at MLG for making very, very short business decisions. They don't think long term. And you can cite 1,000 different sites for that. Most recently, all the cuttings of the media stuff and stuff they've done there, the fact that they hired them and then, a month later after hiring people, people were cut, certain people. And buying Gottfrag and then, letting it die 6 months later. I mean, all those things, picking up Tekken for a few games throughout the season and then letting it die the very next season. I despise stuff like that. And it's not just personally. I despise it personally as Check 6, but I also think it's awful for community. I've seen it with CGS. I think that's very similar to something CGS did. And I've seen it with Tekken and how Tekken was, on the verge of, death when they picked it up. And it just completely died after MLG. Because something like that breaks people's spirits. It breaks a community down. The fact that you've lost what you thought was going to be your savior, what you thought was going to be your community savior, and you just lose it despite bringing in great numbers. Tekken brought in great numbers, and it was a really good stream. It brought in good registration numbers. There wasn't a problem there, and MLG even said that. So I just hate that idea of anything that is a decision for a short term ever. I think what they're doing with StarCraft is great. It's and like I said, like you said, maybe it's something that we're not quote unquote ready for yet. Maybe we just can't afford to think more long term with seasonal kind of games. But it's just not something that I think is good for any community at all. So
no, and I think a lot of people would agree with that very sentence. That look, and I mean, you hear it from the fighting game community also. They were clearly, Tekken had its moment in the shine, then it kind of was like shunned away. And again, if you really think about it, right, it's the people who said Tekken sucks because it failed who are hurting it. I mean, we got to get a culture in esports where a game gets picked up, we celebrate it, but if it doesn't work out, we don't shun it or hate it, right? I mean, so I'm going to go, I use my analogy of, the fat kid, but fat kid who doesn't know shit about Tekken. Tekken's on the circuit, he's like, oh, cool, Tekken's great. Tekken leaves the circuit, now he's like, oh, Tekken's a shitty game. Now the fight, right, but it's true. And the fighting game community is like, look, I'd rather have fucking Dumbo kid over there not know anything about Tekken than all of a sudden talk shit about something he doesn't know. I get that, I do, but it really is better to have your moment in the sun. Because if a developer releases another game, if something comes up, people may already be familiar with Tekken, and you may generate some fans. Curt is an example. So for every Dumbos out there that hates, there might be another one that's positive. I still think the exposure that MLG can give a game is not bad because all you're going to do is shine the spotlight on a game. And sometimes, as in the case of Brawl, you saw a little bit of dirty laundry with the way they fixed prizing, and that needed to be called out. When you're under the big spotlight, you can see the roaches easier, and you saw a few. Hold on. Dakota, go ahead, because I know you wanted to say something too.
Oh, the point you just made was actually really good because that is something that completely changed the Smash community because it was the first time that anyone really said anything about it, to be honest. I mean, it happened in Melee. But
well, the only way and I think that's the point, though. The only way you're going to change culture is by calling it out, right? And saying, wait a minute, is it really good that players don't try their best? They just kind of like agree to split a prize? Is that really the best spirit of sports or competition, right? Yeah. And I think it's good to have your shit called out.
It has its positives and negatives. I mean, obviously, we had so many people like, wow, this is the Smash community, and no, it's not. I mean, there are instances of it. There are today. But that's not really the point. The point what I want to say is that I feel like every game should get its chance if it can. I think games like Tekken, the problem is that MLG is taking what it can get. It can't have Street Fighter. It can't have Marvel. So we have games like Mortal Kombat for the winter season. Mortal Kombat is not one of the biggest games in the fighting game community. The numbers are low. So when you have a game like that come on an MLG circuit and then it gets dropped really quick, everyone's like, wow, that's not a good game, and then it hurts the community because the game that already wasn't doing well is doing less well. Smash is an exception because it was doing well with or without MLG. Exactly. Mortal Kombat has a lot to prove because it has Evo. That's it. You have Tekken. Tekken isn't doing good not because of MLG and then because Tekken isn't big. Same with Soul Calibur. But when MLG comes around and it is on the same weekend as Summer Jam, which is a big event for fighting games in Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Tekken's there, and you're splitting those numbers, and then you have people who can't make it out to the events because of that, and you have a community that's already small. Yeah, it looks really crappy because you're not Street Fighter that has 300 people coming out to locals. That's, MLG is working on the fighting game community side. It's working with games that aren't big. Smash was the only exception because we have the biggest grassroots community out of any fighting game. You can't deny that. We have tournaments every single weekend, ridiculous numbers. Other than that,
and look, I would agree. I really like that. I would agree with that, right? I really would agree with that. And I think, again, right, you can't be afraid to fail. Failure is not a permanent state of being. It is a moment in time. And, Call of Duty had its first event, and it didn't do very well at MLG. And it was like, oh, Call of Duty shit. Not really. I mean, it's the most played Xbox game. Like, you could add, their 3 titles, and it's more than, 5 Xbox games combined. You can't say Call of Duty isn't the largest first-person shooter probably in the world, maybe at least North America, but I'm arguing it's the most popular console shooter with nothing close. That's my opinion, and I think there's some numbers to back that up. It's probably not just pure opinion. And Brawl is in a unique situation, as you mentioned, where you get a lot of this face time to build a community. So even if MLG drops you, you have something to fall back on. And I think that's where the big difference comes in, and why I think Hypefestation is so important and good. And I think to maybe restate what Dakota said, we need grassroots in every game in a way to see if it's successful as well. And I'm not talking about StarCraft, obviously. That's a decade in existence, and it's very well developed. But for all the other games that are not as well developed as StarCraft or on the console side, Halo, you're going to need that grassroots. A game can still move on. You never know what a developer is going to do, blah, 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 blah. I think those are all positive things, right? I really do.
I think grassroots is huge. I think that's why anytime I talk to someone in Gears or Halo, Call of Duty, do what Hypefestation does. Just go run your own local. I know it costs money, but if you love the community and you're the people that want to play it, do it. That's why I love Hypefestation. I wish I could have made it out. And, that's why I love the fighting game community, because we just go and do it. But, when the Halo people are like, oh, we'll just wait for MLG, so, pick it up whenever, I had someone tell me, yeah, well, why don't we just support MLG? Yeah, support MLG. You guys support grassroots too.
The story's not over. I mean, I know the LAN network is trying to be sort of resuscitated, but Major League Gaming may not have Halo in the spring arena and so to speak. And if it doesn't,
right, then what?
Well, but you know what? That's the Halo community's problem to solve. Just like it was the Gears community problem to solve, and then Caesar and his team stepped up, and Beyond Gaming got involved, and you now have Hypefestation. It'll be up to Halo to solve that, and they'll survive, right? Or they won't. Either way, that's not MLG's responsibility, right? We can't blame them. One more thing I got to address out there, because I got a whole bunch of things that are stacking up, and we need to wrap up the show. I want to thank Sir Scoots for some of his Skype comments. He always says, why do you drag us into it? E.g., you guys are the biggest brand in North American esports. You're an easy target, and I consider it a compliment.
That being said, before you go on to Sir Scoot, that being said real quickly, Sir Scoots is actually being interviewed right now. So after we're done here, wrap up here, he's being interviewed by Leah B. Jackson over at twitch.tv/STEMcraft. So that's STIM Starcraft. So STIM Starcraft.
CG Freedom said if you wanted to get a job in esports, what kind of education would you go for? That's a really tough question because, again, the industry really hasn't established those standards. If this helps you at all, only about 30% of people in their undergraduate degrees work in the field they studied. So it's okay to get a really broad especially in this field. I don't think what degree you choose is important, but your communication skills are going to be critical unless you're looking to work on the technical side, because obviously streaming, websites, all that kind of stuff is a critical part of the infrastructure. So technical degrees are going to be needed as well.
Hey, Jerry, I'm going to throw this out there for you.
Ahead,
we have business people. I was going to say business is something really good to learn because the games. We know the games already. The games and the rule sets and all that crap. We know the game. So business people are always great. But what we really need is a lawyer, like media lawyers. And how do we license all this stuff from the developers? And how do those agreements? I have no idea how to do any of that. And it's such a gray area. So I would say if you know anything about media law, and it's a brand new industry breaking into this interactive entertainment and intellectual property and what's licensing and what's illegal, that would be fantastic. If somebody
to be honest with you, SOPA is an example of how far away we are. Even lawyers don't get it. And I say this as, we are, and I don't think anybody realizes this, we are on the cutting edge. What we are doing here is game-changing stuff. I don't think people realize how powerful gaming is. And I think the one thing that gamers have been really hesitant to do is learn what politicians know, learn what certain industries know. We have to start speaking with our wallets. And that means all of us, we got to start really recognizing excellence. We have to start pointing to people and saying, for better or worse, they are our community leaders. And I really mean that. I mean, you could have an opinion about Hastro, for example, but his commitment to Call of Duty is unquestionable. You've got to look at Hastro as a community leader. You should, regardless of your personal opinion of him. Even if you remember Hastro before he has been recognized for all his contribution. Yes, you knew him back then, but we need to galvanize around certain leaders and people who are contributing. Those things are important, and I say that because in what you're saying, we need people who are going to work in this who can, and this is really hard. I just want to make this clear. Changing culture is really hard. The auto industry had to change its culture. That was really hard. They had to spend a lot of money to change culture. We have to change our culture. We have to start spending our money on the things that matter. We have to start looking to the people who are working hard for the things we love and recognizing and supporting them. this is so critical, and it's why I'm going to hit on this probably for the rest of the year in one form or another. Let me address a few other people before I forget. Thank you all I've done on Twitter and the VV Shoutbox. Everything exploded with a lot of positive comments. I really appreciate it, but as much as it's great that rant was good, it's more important that all of you start to think about what can we do collectively. And I promise you, over the next several weeks, I will work hard to make sure that, one, we do a lot more to bring console gamers to StarCraft, so that if anybody ever monetizes StarCraft, we can be there, but also to help people start to do something else. And that is realize that, and I really mean it, I matter. You matter. Every dollar you spend matters. Because remember, you may think, oh my God, it's only my $20. But when 10,000 people do it, it changes the equation. And all of us have opinions and we spend money. We have the power to collectively change the equation. And I really believe now is the time to do that. So, all right, with that being said, I want to do some thank yous, and I'm going to turn it over to Jason to close up the show and get this sort of closed. I want to give a shout out to Aaron Hassel from Beyond Gaming, because he needs a little bit of appreciation for all he does. I want to thank Caesar, as always, for coming on the show, being a supporter of what we do, and obviously I want to thank you for stepping up and doing all you do in Hypefestation. So thank you, Caesar. I want to give you a chance right now for any shout-outs or any things you want to say.
Obviously, thanks for having me and Jason on the show. It was definitely a good time. Big shout-out to everybody in the community. As always, anyone being positive and productive, to try to, take Gears of War to the top. Obviously, big shout-out to Beyond Gaming, Astro Gaming, Gunner Optics, Aver Media, Twitch TV. And just, no offense, but, anyone who's not a bitch, shout out to you. I mean, that's pretty much, that's another thing.
The technical term.
It's just like, I have a lot of respect for men and women alike. I like doers, people who get her done and don't bitch and don't moan and don't look for pats on the back. And, you're noticed and I notice you. That's it. So, and what else? That's about it.
All right, Peter. Thank you. Jason Barbosa, first of all, thank you for helping us rescue this episode. It wouldn't be possible without.
No problem, sir.
Oh, God, can't give you enough thanks.
No problem.
Something Caesar just said, this is done, again, to teach. But we're going to give Jason a gift card as a thank you for his help, not because he asked for it, not because I want you to like us, because we're doing it.
Yeah, that's right. Pay for his services.
But you need to all understand something, right? You need to understand professional courtesy. We need to start treating each other like that, right? And I mean it. And, Jason stepped up, helped us out at a critical moment, and also convinced us to move away from XSplit to Wirecast. And, I'm sure we'll get a nice education
Amen.
as well. So I just want to thank you, Jason, for all you do, for the work you do at Hypefestation. And I want to give you a chance for any shout-outs or any thoughts.
I definitely want to thank Beyond Gaming. Shout out to them. I work for them. I'm trying to motivate their competitive community with all sorts of live streams for casual and for competitive gamers. And Aaron Hassel for doing a ton more work than he was supposed to do at Hypefestation, and all the guys over there at Beyond Gaming. And then CDN thanked the sponsors, but I want to thank some special volunteers at Hypefestation, because there's a work ethic that I love. And when people ask, hey, if there's anything you need me to do, let me know. That's not how you help people. If you see someone carrying a whole bunch of crap and you just go up to them and say, hey, let me get that for you, that is so much better. Like, that's a great work ethic. And people that did that at Hypefestation, Bunny X Ablaze, Loyalty, Killer Beauty, Crashy stepped up and did some refereeing, Brutality,
BB's own JC.
Yeah,
JC stayed with me till 6 in the morning. No, 7 in the morning on Sunday night, helping me wrap cables and pick up my streaming equipment. We were done at like 1. He stayed up an extra 7 hours to help out. Ninja Addict 2, Coenis, Isaac, Dave over from Astro, and of course Joey and Berger for helping with a lot of the stuff before Hypefestation.
And also Vero Prodigy. Me and Vero.
I was getting Vero right now. Vero is massive, and he's still going.
So, I mean, I think to all those people just named, for those of you who don't know them, you will, because these people generally don't stop, and they will continue to do great things. JC, I know Vero, know Ninjatic, all people who know how to get things done. And I think I'm really going to steal that, Caesar, about just getting it done. It really is, at the end of the day, what this is all about. We all have to, if we want to all see esports be sort of live to its full potential, we're going to have to identify and need those people who can get it done to step up to the plate, and I don't know if you can ever thank them enough. So, but Jason, again, I can't thank you enough for stepping up the plate to live that example. And we're going to let Jason wrap up the show. And before we do, I want to say to everyone, Rapture, VV Rapture, is getting ready to close down Directional Influence, and he's going to be coming on board the losers bracket because we need some help. We need promotional help. Like, we've laid out a whole promotional strategy for this year. So since Rapture's in college, and I think every show should have an intern, Rapture's not only going to be a commentator, but he's also going to be Rapture the intern. All of you are going to see Rapture's smiling personality on many forums as he goes out to build relationships. And, so we can post the upcoming losers bracket, let everybody know what the topics are ahead of time. So, to be fair, some people don't always think to come to the VV site. They want to see it on their website. So we're going to work with a lot of people to help do that. And that's going to be Rapture. Rapture's going to be the one focus, smiling face. So Dakota, welcome back to the losers bracket.
Thank you.
And Jason, you take it from here.
Oh, goodness. I think that before anything else, I know you had mentioned it. I know I've already said it once before, but I have to say one more thank you to CaptnBarbosa, Jason, for his help. He's definitely given me some tips for the future, as well as, we're going to be working together a little bit more, I do believe, just from this alone. Whether you like it or not, you're giving me some tips. No, seriously, dude, we love what you do, and you're the man. So thank you for coming on, and I can't wait to get you back on again, my man.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course, dude, of course. With that being said, we had actually just joked in the chat that we have on Skype a little bit about how much education, I guess, was going from Jerry's rant, things like that. Giving the eSports 101 rant, I have to find that it's a little bit ironic that this is episode 101 of the losers bracket, and I want to thank you all so much for sticking through the technical difficulties at the front, that we were able to work through that and actually turn this into a very, in my opinion, entertaining show. I definitely want your feedback on that, though. Let us know what you thought. Was Jerry full of shit? I personally don't think so. But you are what matter. We want to hear what you think. So give us the feedback. You know our Twitter accounts. I'm at VVVParadise. Jerry is at LordJerith. Curt is at ENE Keyhunt. And our intern is at VVVRapture. You can message all of us. Give us the feedback. We want to hear it. If you want to email me directly, it's paradise@vvv-gaming.com. I will respond. I will talk with you about the show. Let us know your thoughts. We definitely want to hear them. With that being said, let me give the normal shout-outs aside from our guests, which we thank you so much for joining us this week. Let's give a shout-out to our sponsors. We've got SteelSeries Gamer Grub, Control Freak, MusicSkins.com, and of course a big shout-out to the band Power Glove for supplying the music that we use each and every week. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. A big thank you to everyone that stuck around and listened tonight and listened to all of our last 100 episodes. Thank you to everyone that took the time to listen to the bonus episode last week for the rants. I thought that was a really great, fun trip down memory lane. And thank you for all the feedback we got on that. It was really awesome. Finally, for all the Losers Bracket episodes, if you want to check them out, we've got the entire archive on the VVV Gaming homepage. Just go on there. It's in the content section, and you'll find all the episodes we've done. I think there's a total of it's closing in on 110 total with all the bonus episodes and things like that we've done. On top of all that, if you want, we also have an entire archive on our YouTube channel. The name is the VVV Gaming over there. And like the videos, give it a thumbs up. With that all being said, I think we are just about to wrap up the eSports 101, episode 101. Thank you so much yet again for tuning in. Jerry, was there anything else you wanted to say before we signed out, buddy?
I want to give Curt a chance to say his thing before I speak. So, Curt, you go first.
All right. Got a few small shout-outs I want to give. First off, shout-out to Evil Geniuses. Once again, I did that last week. I want to give a shout-out to them again. They held their EG Masters Cup League announcement this week, and we were one of the invited teams into the poll to be potentially invited into the league. I am not one for polls. I think it should be open qualifiers, and all teams should be put in a qualifier, but I appreciate them inviting us anyway. Congratulations to Team Vile for actually taking that win over huge European teams like Millennium and FXO and all those guys. Shout out to them. Please be looking out for them because I'm sure they'll do well. My sort of final shout out there is I want to give a shout out to a new sort of startup in the esports community. So if you go to youtube.com/channel/EGSTV, or I think it's EGS, just search EGS TV on YouTube. They do actually a daily show, like Fuck Slasher, but a little bit different style. They do a daily show on esports that just came out today, their first episode, so please go check them out. And that's about it.
I would have to say that I want to remind all of you tomorrow night is Wednesday Night StarCraft, and Curt, you and I are going to get to watch our players go head-to-head again.
Shall do battle again.
I know,
yes.
Shall do battle again.
Korean versus Korean.
Oh, I hear there's a little bit of exciting there, by the way. So we'll see. I hear there's a little bad blood. I don't know the back. I got to get the details. So yes, tomorrow night we will have an opening, I think, of 2 Korean players, one from VV and then obviously from Czech 6, and then we'll get the rest of the Czech 6 gang versus the rest of the VVV gang for Wednesday Night StarCraft once again, with Crota and Matron casting. To all of you console players, I will say this. Learn about StarCraft. Come watch. Matron and Crota are excellent. They understand the game, the players. They're fun and great to talk to. They are unbiased. They're fair. They make me laugh. In short, it's entertaining. I can't tell you how often I come home from work and I'm like, I'm not going to watch Wednesday Night StarCraft. I have other things to do. And I'll have it on in the background, and all of a sudden, there I am, I'm watching it. And I think when you have enough of those experiences, you'll start to understand a lot of what makes StarCraft so special. So I want to remind everybody, Wednesday Night StarCraft. And I think I'm going to run with this theme of I Matter. I don't know how yet, but expect something to happen regarding StarCraft and VVV and reaching out to console players to help them both understand about StarCraft, but then also making them understand they matter. I don't know how I'm going to work that all out yet. But yeah, so Wednesday Night StarCraft, same channel right here. We start Wednesday Night StarCraft every week at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, and we go until there's a winner. So hope to see everybody there. Aside from that, we've thanked CaptnBarbosa enough. I'll do it one more time. I want to thank our guests. I want to thank my co-hosts. Again, I want to welcome Rap to the show. And most importantly, I really hope that the message sunk in tonight. I can't tell you how important I think it is. So hopefully the leagues think about this very seriously and they don't give stuff away for free. But anyway, that's it. Good night, everyone. I really appreciate it. Jason, it's all yours.
All right, I think that brings us to the end of episode 101. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you back here next week for another episode of the Losers Bracket. Have a great weekend, some great games out there, some new games. Go check them out, have some fun, play some games this weekend, and we'll see you back here for episode 102 next week.
Oh, by the way, Kingdoms, I really mean this when I tell you that. Reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. I really mean this. I got the collector's edition, and it comes with this like troll It's like numbered like 725 out of 1,000.
Oh wow!
Out of 1,600, it's like Kingdoms of Amalur, Reckoning. It is EA's answer to Skyrim, and I think as far as action goes, it's kind of like Skyrim meets God of War. I think that's a really accurate description. That's what I'm going to do this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I think is I'm going to hide and I'm going to play this game. So looking forward to take a look at that. So yes, play games.
Indeed. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon. Have a great night.